Tonight, Uganda Civil Aviation Authority suspends all flights from Entebbe to the Middle East. Police names 8 suspects connected to 63 million shillings theft at Gwanda shopping mall in Kisenyi. International leaders call for restraint as crisis between Israel and Iran deepens. And in sports, National Council of Sports General Secretary flags off Uganda's Victoria Cup golfers. Hello there and welcome once again. We are coming to you live online and on air from Broadcasting House here on Nile Avenue. On sign language, it is Senyomo Yusuf and I am Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma. President Yoweri Museveni has hosted the former First Lady of Tanzania, Anna Mkapa, who paid a courtesy call on him at State House Entebbe. The meeting, which was attended by the First Lady and Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Kataha Museveni, reflected the deep and cordial relations between the leadership and people of Uganda and Tanzania, and the continued commitment to strengthening ties within the East African region. President Museveni warmly welcomed Mrs. Mkapa and commended the friendship between the two countries. He noted that Uganda and Tanzania enjoy strong bilateral relations built on mutual respect and collaboration in key sectors, including education, trade, regional security, and development. Mrs. Mkapa appreciated the warm reception and reaffirmed continued cooperation between the two nations. She acknowledged the strong historical bond between Uganda and Tanzania and emphasized sustained partnerships that promote regional integration and social development. Uganda Civil Aviation Authority, UCCA, has suspended all flights from Entebbe to the Middle East. Uganda Civil Aviation Authority spokesperson Vianney Luja said the temporary suspension affects all flights from Entebbe to Dubai, Doha, Sharjah to the situation there. Now, Luja appealed to passengers to cooperate with other flight companies to their destinations.
Passengers who had booked flights with different airlines operating at Entebbe International Airport have been advised to contact their respective airline offices to reschedule their journeys following the temporary suspension of flights to several Middle Eastern destinations.
However, while that is the case, the other operations through Entebbe International Airport are ongoing as scheduled. Some people may have got the impression that flights are not moving. No. It is only flights to the Middle East, to the areas whose airspace has been closed, that are suspended. Flights to other parts of the world, within the region in Africa, to Europe and other parts of the world are operating normally through Entebbe International Airport.
According to Vianney Luja, some countries in the Middle East, including Dubai, Doha and Sharjah, have temporarily closed their airspace, and currently no aircraft is allowed to take off or land in those areas. This disruption has significantly affected global air transport and business, as Dubai serves as a major international economic hub and a key transit center for many airlines. Luja says, as countries affected by the conflict between Israel, the United States and Iran make arrangements to evacuate their nationals, the Uganda Civil Aviation Authority is ready to handle any Ugandan who may be repatriated in coordination with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
In relation to plans for evacuation of the Ugandans who may be stuck in those destinations, that is not in UCA's mandate, but there are other government bodies that are mandated to do that. You may recall that during COVID-19, this was done. There was evacuation and repatriation. It is mainly coordinated by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So for us as an airport, we only provide the infrastructure and facilitation in case such a move takes place. So we are ready to provide the facilitation that would be required.
He adds that since the outbreak of the war, the movement of cargo and passengers has been greatly affected, and that the total economic losses cannot be determined until the situation normalizes.
It takes time to compute the actual financial implications of the loss. We have not yet computed that, but that will be done at a point in time. But even when it is being done, The financial loss is not only on the part of UCAA. There are components where we have lost, airlines have lost.
Meanwhile, affected passengers have been urged to remain calm and follow official communication and guidance from their respective airlines regarding travel arrangements.
Main international airport.
The tensions escalated following attacks involving Israel, the United States and Iran, which sparked off wider conflict in the region, including insecurity and leading to the closure of airspace in several Middle Eastern countries,
And
a
called on
development
both sides
that
to
has
show
triggered
maximum restraint. And
now, Uganda has started evacuating its nationals, mainly students, from the Islamic Republic of Iran following the attack on the country by Israel and the U.S. on Saturday. The Permanent Secretary, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Vincent Bagire Waiswa, told UBC that the nationals have already reached Turkey as more arrangements are made to bring them home. Bagire further says that there has been no official report of any Ugandan injured as a result of the conflict so far.
As you know, there is a conflict in the Middle East between the Islamic Republic of Iran and Israel and the US, and arising from that, there is destruction in many ways, but also it has affected a number of activities in Tehran. As for Uganda, we have primarily students that have been in Tehran, studying in Tehran. They accessed some scholarships to go and study in Tehran. And these students are by and large the Ugandan community that our embassy in Tehran has constantly and consistently been in touch with. If you recall, in June, again, these very students got stuck and the government of Uganda had to evacuate them. The same thing happened this time round. We had around 43 students in universities in Tehran. And the embassy quickly organized them and took them by road to the Turkey-Iran border, where they have been received by our mission in Ankara. And as we speak right now, they're on the Turkish soils, in Turkish territory. We are planning on how to evacuate them and return them home, and we are hoping that before the end of the week, they will have returned. We've heard of one incident in the UAE, United Arab Emirates, but we don't have the facts yet, so we can't speak to it authoritatively. We are waiting for our embassy there to give us some details. But as of now, we cannot comment. We cannot say with certainty that the Ugandan is so and so, and this is where he or she was injured. So we are waiting on our embassy.
The 5 justices of the Constitutional Court have dismissed a petition filed by members of the Democratic Party, DP, challenging the cooperation agreement between the party president, Norbert Mao, and the ruling National Resistance Movement, NRM. The petitioners had contested the agreement that led to Mao's appointment as Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs.
The cooperation agreement between the Democratic Party and the National Resistance Movement that resulted in Norbert Mao's appointment as Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs, some Democratic Party members petitioned the Constitutional Court, challenging the legality of the agreement. They alleged that the agreement violated the Constitution of Uganda and the Democratic Party's internal constitution. The matter was heard before a panel of 5 justices of the Constitutional Court. The justices in the matter included Justice Musa Sekana, Margaret Tibulia, Moses Kazibwe Kauma, Arthur Mujenyi, and Helen Obura. They dismissed the petition on grounds that the agreement between Mau and National Resistance Movement did not contravene the Ugandan Constitution or the Democratic Party Constitution. The court also addressed Mau's appointment as Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs, which they say was constitutionally valid. The justices ordered each party to bear its own costs. The Democratic Party team, led by Deputy Spokesperson for Lubaga Division Julius Dumba, Edith Byanyima, and Kamya Kasozi, were dissatisfied with the court decision.
Tosobola kugamba nti byonna ebyakolebwa byali bituufu naye nga tutunudde nti bababuuza ku National Executive Committee oba National Council oti bagibuuzaako. Those two organs. Naye tugamba tusigale nga tukyali bamu nadde bamemba ba Democratic Party bangi baweddemu amaanyi bawa frustrated ba members bangi across the board. Era ekigendererwa ki mwami Museveni mukozesa DPS aneweeffe ne DP eringa Buganda DP eringa ddiini abantu bajja kufa nejja kuddamu emeruke.
Minister Norbert Mau's legal team was pleased with the ruling.
Ensala y'olwaleero eyoleseza ddala eri bannayuganda ne bannaffe Democratic Party nti tusaanidde okwekubamu mu mitima nga tulina ebyobufuzi bitutambuza. Tusaanidde okusoma constitutions eya Uganda neya Democratic Party okubanga tukitegeera. Era tusaanidde okuyiga nti tulina okufuga emimwa gyaffe mu kuwaayira n'okuteekako ebigambo bitaliimu lwa kkooti y'engulaze nti ekisero kye babadde bakutte tekikwata mazzi.
Deborah Namamonde, Viola Nansubuga, UBC News.
Has okayed that agreement.
The National Resistance Movement Revolutionary Network Pressure Group has called for a public debate for all candidates vying for speakership. In a press conference, the group says such a debate would allow aspiring candidates articulate their vision for a people-centered parliament, enable MPs to evaluate substance over alliances, promote transparency and issue-based competition besides strengthening public confidence.
Because the office of the Speaker of Parliament is one of the most important offices on this land. That's why us as NRN, we want that office, like whoever is interested in contesting for the speakership, should be subjected to a public debate. Yes, they should come together because even the president himself was subjected to a public debate. Yes. We need people to select their leaders when they know that this person is actually competent or incompetent, not sitting in the corner and then we say, no, we want this one, we elected, we selected, so and so. No. Let whoever is interested in this office of speakership, let them come on one table. We ask them questions. We ask them about their background.
When we substitute managing an institution with personalizing an institution, Your Excellency, it puts the future of NRM in danger. What am I saying? The parliament is established on a very delicate ecosystem that the executive visibility should not be overshadowed by personal interests.
We are here, we have been working for NRM, we have been suffering, we have been fighting with them, but they don't want to consider us to give us appointments, to give us more opportunities. They are giving opportunities to the lost opposition members.
Speaker, bwe twagalanga ekisokanga NRM, rules of procedure ziberenga ziri observed. Speakership ekifo kibere open. Abantu abali transparent, abalina competence eyo bakirizibwe bavuganye mu mazima n'obwenkanya.
We want these people to watch you fidgeting with issues on a national television. You understand?
Yes.
Whichever goes wrong in parliament, you as members of parliament, you are going to be blamed. Because for us, as I'm speaking now, I am not in charge of electing.
Now, the Church of Uganda has launched the Environment Month and a planting campaign of 15 million trees as a living legacy in a bid to restore the lost forest cover ahead of its 150-year celebrations in 2027 since its inception. The Deputy Speaker, Thomas Tayebwa, who was the guest of honor at the event, pledged government support towards strengthening environmental protection.
So far, they are good. Bless this project.
Of recent, Uganda has experienced drastic climate changes, which have affected planting seasons, land degradation, tree cutting for burning charcoal, settlement and industrialization have contributed to a deteriorating environment. To address these, Church of Uganda has launched a tree planting drive for 15 million trees ahead of its 150th anniversary slated for the year 2027.
Dioceses and parishes need to partner with us. We shall do baseline mapping, assessment of land. Is it available? Is it viable? And what species do you need? Then we also do clear reporting through the dioceses, through parishes, and up to the provincial level.
The event, presided over by the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Tayebwa, also witnessed the unveiling of the Environment Month. Tayebwa appreciated the Church of Uganda for the noble cause and urged the Ugandans to prioritize environmental protection.
You inspire action and you influence behavior. When you speak about environmental responsibility, communities listen much more than some of us.
He reaffirmed the government's support to strengthen environmental protection, pledged 50 million Ugandan shillings on behalf of Parliament.
You build resilience by being preventive in your approach. Because the same money, even more worse, is going to be spent, you trying to respond. So I think that's why in the Climate Change Act, which we passed, we said our budgets now should have a certificate of climate change implication and compliance. So when we are analyzing the budget, we try to see factors and elements that contribute to protecting the environment and addressing mitigation measures of climate change if they are complied with in terms of financing.
The Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, His Grace Dr. Samuel Stephen Kazimba Mugalu, said the campaign is a legacy of stewardship for a greener future.
This campaign calls us to have a living testimony of stewardship and gratitude through trees that will stand for decades to come. The 15 million trees symbolize both thanksgiving for the past 150 years and a deliberate investment in the future, ensuring the generations yet unborn will inherit a greener, healthier environment and continue the legacy of faith, responsibility, and praise.
He urged the clergy to preach a green-friendly sermon in their services, and he pushed for a nationwide communal and cleanliness day.
Actually, this month, for professors and the lovers of homiletics, if you make a sermon without anything to do with the environment, that sermon will be incomplete. Organize your church congregations a tree planting day on church land. Honorable, that we should have a day known for cleaning our areas. At least half a day, whereby even an archbishop, we are cleaning, secretariat here, I'm also here cleaning. That should be through Parliament, I think.
The ceremony was attended by bishops from different regions and dioceses, school children, legislators serving at the Parliamentary Environment Committee.
I've been urging the Ministry of Water and Environment, together with its institutions that are responsible for reforestation and planting of trees, is that we need to build synergies. We want to bring on board partners who will help to support and mobilize the communities towards planting of trees of various...
Amwa Evanjuko and Dan Lugemwa for UBC.
Very nice initiative there. The government has intensified strategies to counter transnational crime on Lake Victoria, boosting surveillance, rescue operations and immigration control at key landing sites. The Assistant Commissioner, Immigration Control, Marcelino Bwesige, says the National Fisheries Resources Research Institute in Entebbe, there is a fully equipped facility for rescue and coordination.
Lake Victoria is a vital economic lifeline for at least 40 million people across the East African region, but faces transnational crime from human trafficking to unauthorized cross-border movement. This was observed by the Assistant Commissioner Immigration Control during a monitoring visit. The project, funded by the United States government through IOM, focuses on preventing and responding to transnational crime across Lake Victoria.
If you are on the lake, it doesn't matter whether you are on Tanzanian waters or Kenyan waters and you get a problem, there is a common number you will call, and then there are rescue boats that are going to come. You must even have seen some ambulance boats. Yeah, that's a government project to help people. So yes, crime will be managed better.
The National Program Officer for Immigrations and Border Governance, Richard Kavma, emphasized gazetting more water border points to bring services closer to communities that rely on lake transport.
One way to counter them is to also increase the number of gazetted border points. So the idea of a place like Ripon was to bring the service closer to the people so that if bona fide travelers are coming in, they will be able to be helped right there instead of having to look for the immigration office. But also to put this place in the middle of the maritime community.
The initiative has provided 24-hour operational offices at the lake with digital data management systems to track passenger and vessel movement.
Now we know someone has to be here 24/7. Like I told you, we are in partnership. If they provide the office, at least the manpower has to be present. And on top of that, we have also provided the MIDAS system. MIDAS system is a security system which helps us in picking statistics, especially of the people who have used this border.
At Masese landing site, local leaders cite persistent challenges including poor sanitation, theft of fishing nets, and the use of illegal fishing gear smuggled into the country.
Abakulembeze twamala ne tukwataganira wamu kubanga teriyo obutimba buno bebajjamu ne bakolamu emiguwa kumbe abaana bebakozesa chance kuba obutimba.
We thought maybe only police marine are the only people responding of that lake, but as now we have got those trainings, we know that even as we are responsibility of.
Authorities say sustained regional cooperation will be critical in dismantling cross-border crime networks and protecting livelihoods dependent on Lake Victoria. Maritime, Robert Katamba, UBC News.
We'll now take a short break, but return with much more. Do stay with us.
Somchara.
Yes, Daddy.
You know the children are going back to school and things are a bit tight. Huh? For now, why don't you take half of the fees to junior school, and for the school van contribution, we shall pay later. Huh?
Daddy, why don't we pay using MTN Momo, where we stand a chance of winning school fees for a whole year and more? By the way, you can also apply for a school fees loan, and also participating schools can win a school van.
That's right! Win school fees for a whole year and more. Get Momo goodies and a school van for participating schools. You can also apply for a school fees loan. Simply dial *165*80# or use the Momo app.
Somchara.
Yes.
Every great cup of Uganda's coffee begins right here on the farm. Quality begins at harvest. Pick only red, ripe cherries because unripe cherries lower your coffee quality and income.
After harvest, protect that quality. Dry your coffee clean on tarpaulins, raised beds, or cemented surfaces, never on bare ground. Spread your harvested coffee thinly. Do not heap it, because heaping causes mold and destroys the quality. When you protect quality, you protect your income and Uganda's reputation on the global market. Uganda Coffee, quality you can trust. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries.
Welcome back from that break, and this is News Tonight here on UBC TV, and a warm welcome to those of you just joining us. Makerere University has once again stamped its authority as a continental academic powerhouse after being selected to host the Africa Office of the Alliance for African Partnership. Makerere University Vice-Chancellor Barnabas Nawangwe says the partnership will strengthen PhD training and supervisory capacity. The decision follows a competitive selection process that recognized Makerere University's strong institutional commitment, proven leadership and capacity to coordinate international research partnerships across Africa.
We want to thank the committee that found our bid worthy of supporting, and I want to assure all of you partners that the Africa office is going to do everything that is necessary to ensure that we can do some, or if not all those things that Professor Carlton was talking about, because that is the way to go. We definitely have the advantage, as she said, of a young population, vibrant population, very young people eager to learn, and if we put our efforts together, I think we can go so far.
And I think it's a very opportune moment that you have this partnership office, not just here in Uganda, but in Africa. We have already heard about the fundamental challenges that present, but also the opportunities that exist within Africa for us to base here for a bigger global impact. And Makerere is already swimming in those waters of being relevant locally while impacting the world. And the partnership under the AAP, I think, is a very, very big chance for us to even do much more in that direction together with our partners. And we know that collaboration and partnership has brought this relationship this far.
NRM leaders in Jinja City have rallied behind Anita Among and urged Busoga MPs to support her speakership. The mobilization follows a mounting competition from DP President Norbert Mao and Prasis Namuganza.
Mohammed is my name, General Secretary, NRM Jinja City. We are here in this press conference to mobilize all members of Parliament to support for Anita Among, the entire country, not only Busoga. People have been saying that we have our own in the region, but this is it's a national issue, and Anita Among is our flag bearer. So my sister, who is also contesting, that one will come in at a later level, but here right now we are looking at Anita Among as our flag bearer, as an NRM party. She was endorsed by SEC, and I think we don't have to meander around that we have our own. We've been speaker for 20 years as Busoga, so I think for fairness, let her be speaker for this term. We've tried to mobilize 42 members of parliament out of 44 in the entire Busoga sub-region, and at least the 42 have promised to support Anita Among. Some MPs who supported AA failed in Busoga, but then still, you can also witness that even the other time, Honorable Walium supported Mama Altwala Kadaga, but he came back to the same boat. We are all supporting Anita Among.
And the 12th Parliament Speakership race hits now. Funeral Ministries International is planning the 9th edition conference to address financial literacy, mental health, leadership and personal responsibility. Pastor Roni Mutebi told the media that the March 7th, 2026 Men Gather Conference at Funeral Grounds in Nakuru will empower men to meet growing expectations, as we hear in this story.
In the 21st century, men seem overwhelmed by societal expectations, economic pressures, and shifting cultural dynamics, which have caused them to abandon responsibilities. The Funeral Men Gather Conference comes with a platform for men to rediscover their identity and purpose.
The persons who have given them inspiration, and of course, when men get together, they sharpen each other, and we believe it's one of the gatherings where you associate to learn and also to be encouraged. Sometimes you may think you're facing whatever you're facing alone. But when you get together, you're like, oh, I'm not alone. So that's why we gather together every year to encourage and inspire ourselves.
From Funeral Ministries, Pastor Roni Mutebi told the media in Kampala that the conference will tackle drug abuse, mental health, financial empowerment, and spiritual growth.
Last year we had over 40,000 men getting together. This time we've anticipated 50,000 men. Imagine what can happen when 50,000 men get together just to believe God. And you're going to come, the normal you are worried about pressures of life, so timid, you don't know what to do next. But by the time you leave those grounds, you'll have known what to do next. You have nowhere to focus. You'll have known where to go. Because when men are encouraged, the women receive courage.
Partners of the conference, including Equity Bank, are supporting the initiative.
So we want to make sure that men come to the table of agriculture, and when they are aligned, families will be sorted.
So we shall try as much as possible during this time to make sure that our men are equipped with the knowledge about banking. Most times when people come to the bank, sometimes they are lines, sometimes they are this kind of a thing, so they don't get all the information that they need. So when we are at the ground there, you can be able to get all the information that you need.
Lead Pastor of Funeral Ministries International, Apostle Grace Lubega, alongside other international guest speakers and gospel artists, will attend the event. Rebecca Nantongo for UBC News.
Somchara.
Yes, Daddy.
You know the children are going back to school and things are a bit tight. For now, why don't you take half of the fees to junior school, and for the school van contribution, we shall pay later.
Daddy, why don't we pay using MTN Momo, where we stand a chance of winning school fees for a whole year and more? By the way, you can also apply for a school fees loan, and also participating schools can win a school van.
That's right! Win school fees for a whole year and more. Get Momo goodies and a school van for participating schools. You can also apply for a school fees loan. Simply dial *165*80# or use the Momo app.
Business news now, and the head of the the chairman of the South Asian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Shri Mahendra Singh Jadeja, has tipped government to establish a medical facility in the country. He says it would increase demand for skilled health professionals and reduce the number of Ugandans seeking treatment abroad.
Uganda continues to face a shortage of specialized medical personnel. A modern medical university would not only train doctors, nurses, pharmacists and researchers, but also strengthen and transform the entire healthcare system.
One thing which is, I think is worth thinking for this country is the medical university and medical college. Yeah. So whenever you said that I could talk about it, because many times many dignitaries, many people has to go overseas to do the treatment.
The chairman of the South Asian Chamber of Commerce and Industries, Shri Mahendra Singh Jadeja, noted that Uganda already has a strong advantage in the use of English language, which makes it an ideal destination for international students and investors in the health education sector.
This is the only country I found it. The majority of the parents, they want to spend more money on the education to their children. And that shows that the country cares for it.
While exploring investment opportunities, he described Uganda as a country rich in minerals and blessed with peace and stability due to good governance, factors that make it attractive for investment.
We are here to complete the missing link. And all because thanks to the positive thinking by His Excellency President, Prime Ministers and Minister and dignitary of all.
Country which needs development should have a leadership with a team of members, those who can enable the thing system. Second is the resources here. Resources in two ways. One is the manpower, and other is the resources inside, means like minerals, like water, like power and anything. Third one is the infrastructure, that road and other facilities which is needed for making the country industrialized or making the country upgrade. And if we are able to skill the manpower, automatically investment will come here, because any investor who is coming, they need local manpower, strength.
According to Jadeja, their visit to Uganda is aimed at exploring areas of investment, including renewable energy, establishment of a medical university, youth skilling, and the pharmaceutical industry, among others.
We rather walk than start running. We wanted to start few projects at a time. Say, for example, our excellencies asked me, look, we're looking for the pharmaceutical to create the medicine made in Uganda, such as for the diabetes, Alzheimer, and the cancer.
We think actually we are very late. Because really it's not only bright future for us, but I think that there is a very bright future for our next generation too.
Charity Marion Imnat and Kenneth Tanaba reporting for UBC.
To Moroto now, where the people of Karamoja have been implored to embrace tree planting. This was during the flag-off of walkers from Moroto to Kampala as part of commemoration of the Water and Environment Week.
Karamoja is known for its beautiful undulating hills, but suffers environmental degradation, which is responsible for the erratic weather patterns. In a campaign, workers will walk 560 kilometers to Kampala to mark the 9th Water and Environment Week. The walk on the theme, Water and Environment for Inclusive and Prosperous Uganda, kicked off in Moroto district.
The Environment Week is a week where we come to advocate. It's a week where we come to share. So the leadership of Karamoja sub-region and all the other districts where the workers will be from here related to water environment. We are going to make sure this is presented to the Parliament of Uganda and also during the Uganda Water and Environment Week. And Ministry of Water and Environment, I hope intervention will be.
Moroto District Resident Commissioner Tuko Justin flagged off the workers, who are led by Geoffrey Ayeni. He said over 400 boreholes in many valley tanks and dams have been constructed in Karamoja. The Assistant Commissioner at Ministry of Water and Environment, Richard Musota, urged people to plant trees.
You should be penalized. Yes? You should be penalized. One of the panelists here still recommended that when you cut one tree, you plant 10. Yes? If we have saved our environment, if we have saved our resources, then we should take due care of these resources so that they are available for today and for the future.
Officials from Ministry of Water and Environment say water coverage has improved in Karamoja.
We have about 52. We have actually 52 pipe water supply systems. We have 73 trading centers, meaning about 21 those centers don't have pipe water.
Whatever has gotten the problem is being rehabilitated, and plans are there by the ministry to rehabilitate these dams that have gotten silted or they have been having issues with low water in them.
Karamoja sub-region is a water-stressed area challenged by erratic, prolonged drought, which is as a result of cutting trees. Maureen Niga compiled the support for UBC.
Sports news now, and the annual Francis Katerega Schools and Institutions Table Tennis Championship has climaxed at the MTN Arena Lugogo. Our sports reporter has more.
After 3 days of action, the curtain has finally fallen on the Francis Katerega Memorial Schools and Institutions Table Tennis Championship.
The turn-up was good. Top schools in the country were represented. I was so excited to see schools like Namidiango College, which were powerhouses back when we played. And we intend to ensure that even all those traditional schools, Gayaza, Namagunga, Nabingo, also come back to the sport so that they interface with all these other schools that are actually playing the game right now.
The championship celebrated the life of a player who hit the global stage at an early age but passed away almost immediately after winning a bronze medal at the African Games. It attracted more than 400 players from close to 50 schools, and its climax was graced by the National Council of Sports Board Chairperson Ambrose Tashobia.
I'm happy to see that UTTA is able to revamp all these tournaments that have always had but that have gone silent over the years. This speaks to good leadership and good governance, and also a strategy to profile the game and make it very, very vibrant. This was a very well-organized tournament, well-organized, quite well-sponsored, and this is what we want to see.
In the primary schools category, Nakasero Primary School won the girls' team event, while Mbogo Junior were the best boys. The primary schools' respective gender single categories were won by Patience Anyango and Rahim Masoro of Nakasero Primary and Mbogo Junior. Kibuli Secondary School claimed both gender team events, and its players Pavin Nangonzi and Samuel Ankunda were the best in the singles.
This tournament was very important to me to know that I'm back on form and I'm back to reclaim my position as Uganda Seed 1 or Uganda Seed 2.
In the institutions category that was contested for the first time ever, Kampala International University won the men's team event, while Uganda Christian University bettered all women. In the university singles category, Kampala International University's Benjamin Achuma edged the men, while Shanita Namara of Eastbat was the best lady. The championship was enabled with partners like Legacy Productions, Ice Water, and School Pay. There was a special reward to Birunji Bora, who is a special needs person whose passion for table tennis is immeasurable.
And that's all we had time for. Thank you so much for having kept us company. On sign language, it was Senyomo Yusuf and I am Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma wishing you a blessed night.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Salam alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. From the Union of Muslim Women and Organizations in Uganda, Ramadan Mubarak, Ramadan Karim.
Twagaliza omwezi ogwa Ramadani omulungi.
Kye kiseera twekuba emitima tudde eri Allah.
Ebusoga bannange mwena mbagaliza Ramadan enungi.
Nimbendeza omwezi mulungi ogwa Ramadan.
Tumefika katika mwezi wa Ramadhani na watakiza kila la kheri katika mwezi huu Ramadhani al-Karim.
Akonga aisha na shalami kinisiri amunu kiere loteso kama na rakeda suroti ngora 10 bukedi ya palisa akoro amunu kinorikesi kiere aisibana jokan.
شهر رمضان مباركا أهلا بكم ومرحبا بكم يا جماعة الخير المسلمين أهلا وسهلا ومرحبا بكم شهر رمضان مبارك.
As the Union of Muslim Women, we have prepared so many programs to the sheikhs that really speak to our hearts and our minds. We request you to be on UBC during Daku time, 5 to 6 a.m. in the morning. Ramadan Kareem, Ramadan Mubarak. Salamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
The Journey program on UBC TV.
Hello viewers, I'm very glad to be back on air with you today. My name is Nasanga Margaret, coordinator at Uganda Alcohol Policy Alliance, where we basically do advocacy for alcohol harm regulation, protecting not only the gains, but the people also that we have in Uganda. For the gains, I think as women, we have a lot to celebrate. And behind this celebration, we have a lot of men. Just as they say that behind every successful man, there is a woman, I think even to us, the women who are successful today, in whatever measure your success is, at least there is a man who has contributed. So I would like to take this opportunity to applaud the men who have supported their sisters, who have supported their wives, who have supported their friends to be who they are today. Actually, when you check globally, there are a lot of small, medium enterprises